This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No.
Yeah, this
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll. I don't know if that's a compliment.
Welcome to DBL. Friday has begun.
I was just told I look like a little sailor boy.
No, there's like a nautical French.
That was from Tori, by the way.
Very strange.
What I mean is, it's like a French sort of nautical theme. It's very cute.
Well, you know I love the androgynous look, so I'll take it.
There you go.
You're wearing an orange dress.
It's got a lot of Brady Bunch vibes in a good way, like that 70s style coming back.
Jan Brady, that's great.
Yeah, you
Not
can name any of
Marsha?
them. All right, same shockers here, everybody.
Yay!
All right, let's get to it. The trial involving Gwyneth Paltrow continued today in Utah. She's being sued by a man who claims she crashed into him on a ski hill, if you don't know the story. Here's Gwyneth's look for today, long beachy waves with a black button-up shirt. Yesterday, her lawyer asked the judge if her security team could give treats to the courtroom bailiffs for being so helpful during the trial, but the judge said no. Ooh. This is getting very interesting. This is actually interesting. Gwyneth's lawyer also presented an email as evidence that the man sent to his daughter after the crash with "I'm famous" in the subject line. It also apparently included a link to a GoPro footage of the crash, but that video has mysteriously disappeared, which would prove who's right or wrong, Al.
Oh, that would be helpful, Jeff. Sam, I would guess that if I had, the footage of a celebrity injuring me to the point where I have a brain injury and I'm going to sue them in perpetuity, it seems like, for my constant medical bills, I would try and hang on to that footage. Yeah,
this was the bombshell, and this led me through a big rabbit hole. Big and deep.
It's Friday.
I read the affidavit. I looked at the script testimony. And not only was that a bombshell to me, but the other bombshell, and I've been really trying to remain impartial.
Yep.
But the other bombshell to me was that he has traveled to 10 different countries since this accident. So if you're in that much pain, I mean, I know people that suffer from arthritis, from a number of different ailments, they can't withstand a 12-hour flight to another country, let alone 10 different trips. So to me, that was a big eye-opener.
Right. And let me tell you something. He apparently said he had 4 cracked ribs, I believe that was. If you have a cracked rib, you can't even sneeze, let alone travel to 10 different countries. So, to your point.
Right.
I think this is going to turn out for Gwyneth in a very big way. I think things are changing. Now we're looking at her outfits. Now it's becoming a Gwyneth thing. The strategy has shifted for her. She kind of wasn't wearing anything, the Jeffrey Dahmer, like whatever. Now she's all, I'm going to try. This could be a big switch because people did not like the bone broth conversation, and this could be in her favor. I know that sounds.
You didn't like the bone broth.
No one liked the bone broth.
Are we going to see? This is weird, but what you just said made me think about. Are we going to see the Johnny Depp bump?
Right. That's what I mean.
Where you're just kind of like, like when people.
That's what you mean, but you didn't say it at all.
Right. No. Yeah. That's what I meant to say.
I will say, though, too, really quickly to present both sides, his bombshell against her was that he did have like a neurologist come on and took the stand and say he has withstood brain injuries since that accident. Now, again, you can't prove that
you
can't prove that she is the one that caused it. I'm sure he did fall down.
And don't you think it's weird that she's not hurt at all in this? Again, the logic would say she's so small and he was hurt that badly, she was left with nothing?
And if you had a GoPro video on who's more downhill, because that's the rule that I also saw on the ski mountain. Whoever's more downhill has the right of way.
That's right.
So was she more downhill or was he more downhill? He had a GoPro. What happened to the footage?
I like Sam bringing real facts.
Yeah.
We're like, they tried to give the bailiffs treats.
That's what that's what I wanted to talk about, because I wonder, in a day and age where marijuana is legal in probably 30-some states, can you as an adult take any treats from anybody? I wouldn't.
Definitely not in a courtroom.
Yeah, definitely not in a courtroom.
If somebody gave me a Rice Krispie treat, I wouldn't take it right before I went on air.
No.
No, that might be a different show.
Somebody send you a big thing of steaks and you went home and grilled it?
Yeah, I did.
Do you know who it was?
They were wrapped up.
Was it a mistake to do so?
I like
That's okay. I'll take that one. I'll take it.
That was
Friday.
good. That was good.
All right.
Okay.
If Al says so. All right, we're getting a first look at a new Hulu docuseries called Pretty Baby about Brooke Shields. In it, she talks about being sexualized at a young age. Let's check it out.
Sexualized child model.
Exploitation.
Vulnerable. I was on the cover of Time magazine as the face of that
whole era.
Who decides that?
She was catapulted into the world of adult sexuality. I just always remember thinking, like, I hope she's okay. She was a young girl in an all-adult world. I'm amazed that I survived any of it.
Wow. At age 12, Brooke played a child prostitute in the movie Pretty Baby. At age 12, I want to reiterate that. Yeah, with Susan Sarandon, where she appeared nude in the film.
Gosh.
She starred in the racy movie Blue Lagoon when she was only 14.
Yeah.
I believe she kind of appeared nude in that as well, maybe blurry.
Yeah.
And when Brooke was about 16, she was featured in a controversial Calvin Klein jean ad.
And then remember the famous line is, "Nothing gets between me and my Calvins," which is in itself pretty sexual for a 16-year-old.
For people who think we're not evolving as a society, maybe this docuseries will open your eyes.
Look how crazy this
That's a good
looks.
point.
But I mean, we talk about child exploitation, and we saw kind of the other side of this coin when JonBenet Ramsey. You know, when you start taking young women, young girls, excuse me, girls,
prepubescent girls, yeah.
Thank you.
Girls, and you start
Minors.
parading them around in bikinis, and you know, the "nothing gets between me." That's insinuating that she is not wearing any undergarments.
Thank you.
Let's be honest about this. Well, who's that at? Who's that for? Me and Jeff? We would be disgusted by that. It's for a specific kind of disgusting human being, and there's a reason there is a market for this. And I'm just saying that we all. I remember being in a bar when I just started drinking, and looking over, and there was a countdown clock to the Olsen twins turning 18, and I was like, what is what? I didn't even know people thought about there are some of those babies in the carriage, but let's be honest, there's a lot of people that don't. And like I always said, with all those shows, who's watching that? Who are those shows?
Who are the people on set? Who okayed this? And I know that we can't retroactively, you know, there's a statute of limitations. There's nothing that she can do. I'm glad this docuseries is out.
She can do this, though, right?
But I wish that there was some sort of retribution. I wish the people that made those decisions and exploited her and really, I mean, pedophilia, when you really think about it, the fact that she was nude.
Don't dance around it, it was.
I wish that there was criminal repercussions.
Yeah. She was, just so you guys know, in Pretty Baby, she had to kiss actor Keith Carradine, who was almost 30 at the time.
That's absolutely disgusting.
12 years
absolutely
old.
wrong.
This was on television.
Yeah.
And to be honest, Al, you talk about it all the time off camera. We always have this conversation. I think this is the first of many to follow of child stars that are still around today that were abused, that people just kind of brush under the rug. You know, no one talks about it. Corey Feldman is screaming it, and nobody wants to hear his story.
Yeah, they're denying it to his face. They're gaslighting him.
Yeah, so I don't know.
I'm just saying that I know we got to move on, but there is a sick cycle in this country where we exploit children. They then lose their mind, as they should, after they've been assaulted by 15 adults or more. And then we make fun of them when they have their breakdown, a la Britney in 2007 or Amanda Bynes. We laugh at them. Then they're exploited again when here's my version of the event story comes out. And then the industry makes money again as they do the complete wrap-up of their life story. So it's a nice cycle that you've created, starting with child exploitation and just, you know, getting 3 or 4 full-length films out of somebody's life.
Hopefully
I hope it's worth it.
Absolutely. I think
money
we've
must
come
be great.
a long way.
Money must be great.
Everybody up here. All right. A couple is going viral. We're going to switch some gears here. After they got married at a T Swift concert, Tori, The bride had floor seats to the concert in Arizona. Her best friend and maid of honor got ordained just so she could marry them. They timed the ceremony to take place during a costume change intermission, right? She told GMA that Taylor even gave her a little present. Let's watch.
So someone from Taylor's stage team, they came up to us like a couple songs after the ceremony, and they're like, "Were you the couple that got married?" And they gave us a guitar pick from her show, and she gives out her guitar picks during her shows, but this was nice because it was like meant for us.
Was it for us or for her? Because he didn't smile one time in that entire thing. I mean, at all.
So
sorry,
they got married, or they actually
got married.
She was ordained a friend, so she did it during the intermission.
Where's her family?
Where's his happiness?
Ticketmaster locked her bridal party out. I mean, this is. I mean,
do you think this is cute or a little weird?
I think look, it's not for me. I mean, some people. I mean, I would say.
Answer.
I'll just say this: a proposal that's quick, fast, and in a hurry. But when you're in a wedding dress at a concert, you're bringing your personal situation to my entertainment. So now it's like
But
I'm
she was
trying
in
to
a
focus.
costume change. So they did it in a downtime, which even seems worse. It seems
I have to wonder, why is Taylor Swift more valuable in your life, which is totally okay, than your own family?
That's what I was thinking.
That's interesting to me.
That's a great point.
You can unpack that.
And like, can you shake it off or not?
Shake what off?
It's a song by Taylor Swift.
I get it, but what?
Can you
what
shake
reference?
if there's family problems? Can you shake that off and have them join you?
Oh.
Tori, whenever
Set that
somebody
up a
asks
little
you
bit.
to repeat a joke, don't do it. Because they just want you to embarrass yourself again. Don't do it. No,
Okay.
it's not my cup of tea, but I guess it seems like Swiftie fans, they're part of an ecosystem, almost like the insane clown posse, like they're their own
Yeah, but
enclosed
he needs
piece.
to be included too.
Well, our Hard at Work research team said they're having another wedding. This was just like,
Okay.
you know, for a surprise proposal.
Or was it for TikTok?
Right. Was it for clout to get on that show? Yeah.
TikTok.
It worked, though.
Yeah, it worked. All right.
It did.
Yeah.
You got another pun before we go?
I was thinking, but I shouldn't do it.
Do it.
Go,
do
got
it.
to.
Do it. Come on, Tori, do it.
Come on, let's set it up. All right, we're about to go.
Hurry,
Last
go.
thoughts, Tori?
Well, if they went to New York, she could say, "Welcome to New York."
That's not a Taylor Swift song.
Yeah, it is.
Yikes. All right, we're going to talk with a real comedian, actor Rob Riggle. What was it like behind the scenes of a comedy classic, Step Brothers? And Erica is going to explain the drama between Tamar Braxton and Kandi Burruss in her segment, What Erica's Watching.
It was a love story. That's what I should have said.
That was bad.
Love
That's
story.
cute.
That's
That's cute.
We're re-editing it. Yeah.
I mean, now, Sam, would you
Yes.
get married at
What
a
concert
Gwen
would you-
Stefani?
No, listen to me. Listen to me. I appreciate fandoms. I do.
You mean the kind of fandom that gets you pulled out of the crowd at
can you-
Gwen Stefani
no,
with
listen.
a glowing sign?
No. My husband did make me a sign, and she did, but I pushed into a corner. I appreciate fandoms because I myself am a bit of a fangirl. Like, I'm a diehard Disney fan, but you have to unpack it, right? Let me tell you why I'm a diehard Disney fan.
Okay.
I grew up going to Disneyland, so for me it's nostalgic. When I go on It's a Small World, I think about literally looking back and my mom being right there.
Oh,
And now
that's
when I
sweet.
take Sophie with me, I feel like, wow, look at this full circle moment. So for me, Disneyland feels like my childhood. So I love Disneyland for that reason. When it comes to Gwen Stefani, when I was in high school and Magic Kingdom came out, I believe that was her first album, I loved her clothes. I loved her energy. I loved that she was punk rock, and I really identified with her because I was a little punk rock chick. So that's why I love Gwen Stefani.
Okay, so
What?
would you get married at?
Christmas lights on your poster?
Yes.
Mark did that. I didn't. do
No,
that.
oh, look how she's throwing her husband under the bus.
What nostalgia was the Christmas? You like Christmas too?
Yeah, she had a
No, I would
glowing
get their
sign.
attention.
Mark wanted to get her. Mark knew how much I loved Gwen
And
as
now
a
she does, too.
teenager. And Mark made me a sign when I was like 25.
sniffed her.
Yeah, you
I
smelled
did.
her.
She smelled wonderful.
What did she smell like?
Like
Just explain it.
roses and vanilla.
Really?
And tobacco, but in
Oh,
a good way.
nice,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Tamar Braxton is throwing shade at an OG housewife. What's Rick Ross doing with Buffalo? And let's not forget Patrice Rushen in this week's What Erica's Watching. First, Tamar Braxton has faced a lot this past year, and since then, the Grammy-winning reality diva toned down her true colors a bit. But she's back with her bold shade of shade. She commented on a Shade Room post where fellow diva and OG ATL housewife Kandi claims that her girl group Escape's booking fees are 3 times more than SWV's, whose Escape is on tour with.
So why would we
agreed to split our fee and split in half.
Y'all following? Okay. Well, Tamar took time to troll out, saying Kandi has a big ego and that Kandi is the most non-singingest person in the entire music industry. The shade. I smell a new versus battle brewing. Kandi versus Tamar. Next, celebrities can have some unusual pets. But get this, Rick Ross loves tattoos and bling, but he also has a thing for buffalo. Last spring, his underwear brand gifted him 2 as pets. And now they are roaming onto his neighbor's property and tearing up the grounds, okay? The rapper says that if you see a buffalo roaming in his neighborhood, they are obviously his and that they come in peace. So just give them a carrot or an apple and let them know where he can find them. Now, I wonder what the reward is for this kind act, because I like carrots too. You know, the kind Rick wears around his neck. Now, if you're of a certain age, you can't forget who Patrice Rushen is. Her music has been sampled over the years by many different artists, including George Michael and Will Smith. Even those who are younger know her music because, of course, it's trending on TikTok, with classic hits like Forget Me Nots. The 68-year-old singer and jazz musician got her flowers at a recent concert by receiving rave reviews from multiple generations of fans. And we love to see it. Share with me anything that catches your eye by using the hashtag DBLEricaWatch. We'll be right back.
The only thing that came up was a documentary.
All right. There's a series. Maisie Williams is in there.
We are on the prison number. Sam.
Okay, so I'm trying to ask Chris, our executive producer. He keeps telling me to watch this Sex Pistols series. So Mark and I were all in last night. We could only find docu-series on it, which were actually good.
What's the Sex Pistols' big song that, like, most people know?
Anarchy in the UK.
And Christ.
Yeah, it's from Anarchy in the UK. It's called.
What's it on?
It is on.
And God Save the Queen is
Oh, so it's called
FX.
Pistol.
Yeah.
FX.
Okay, on FX.
FX.
How do I watch it on FX?
I think you can see it through Amazon.
Okay, so I'm gonna watch that
Hulu,
tonight.
Hulu.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have Hulu, but
You don't have Hulu.
figure it out. Okay, I'll get your password.
It's called Pistol.
Pistol.
And it's about the Sex Pistols.
And I love the Sex
By the
Pistols.
way, Vivienne Westwood's a big character in it.
Just a docu-series, 3 episodes. Al told me about it. Did you tell me about it?
I think so,
you did. On Netflix, the most hated man on the internet.
Is this the Tinder guy?
No, that's
It's
love fraud.
There's
That's
a
a
guy
different
that
one.
started a revenge porn site back in 2012. And girls were, it's horrific. These girls were not submitting their photos. Let me just say that, because I don't want to give away bombshells.
Yes, but it ruined people's lives.
Dude, ruined. And then a mom saved the day. A mom.
Yeah, I mean, but...
And that guy is, and if you like hacking, wait till you see the hacktivist that delivers a life lesson. I'll just say that. I don't want to give away too much.
It's a great doc.
It's great.
Love fraud.
Welcome back. We all love whenever Rob Riggle pops up in a movie, a TV show, or even as a host. And with the new documentary Plastic Earth, he's now helping make the world a better place. Earlier, we spoke with him about solving the plastic problem. Take a look.
Welcome back to the show,
Yes.
Rob Riggle.
Rob Riggle!
Hey, how's it going? Rob, let's jump right in. So excited to talk to you today. One of my favorite movies of all time is Step Brothers, and I see the poster right behind you there.
Yep.
Does anyone ever come up to you? Because, Rob, the first thing I want to mention to you is the Catalina wine mixer, like in that, and just go, pow!
Oh, yeah. I get a lot of that. I get a lot of pow requests. And I get a lot of people screaming pow at me at very awkward times, which always alarms me, but it's always flattering, I guess.
Yeah, I love it. And I do watch the outtakes, too, and there's one specifically with you and Will Ferrell, like when you said you're going to get him right in his suck hole and then you start laughing. How much of that is made up on the spot?
so much is made up, especially when you work with like, Adam McKay and Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
These guys are improvisers, and they came up doing improv. And myself, I'm an improviser as well. So for us, it's just a big playground. And we try to make each other laugh. We try to come up with the most unusual, ridiculous thing we can. And generally, it makes us laugh. And if it makes us laugh, that's a good barometer for if it stays in the movie or not.
Hilarious stuff, man. Hilarious. I love it.
It's awesome. And you have such a cool backstory. I thought I had a weird backstory. I was a middle school teacher, then a comic, then a talk show host. You were a Marine, then a comedy writer, and now you're just a household name, A-list celebrity. How did this happen? Walk us through it.
Oh my gosh, it's such a long story. I'll try to give you a Reader's Digest version. Basically, I was a theater and film major at the University of Kansas. I've always been a fan of comedy and acting, and I wanted to be an actor. I just didn't think it was possible. So, I also had another dream, and that was to serve. So while I was in college, I had my pilot's license. I got a guaranteed flight contract with the Marine Corps. When I graduated, I went through, officer candidate school, went through flight school, all that good stuff, but then changed to become a ground officer so that I could then pursue comedy and acting, because ultimately that's what my dream was. And so that's what I wanted to do. But I wanted to do both, and I was lucky enough that we live in a great country where I could do both.
Wow. Thank you for your service. I just made my bed this morning. That's all I did. That's unbelievable.
Hey, that's a start. That's the way.
That's true. Let's talk about this. You're narrating a new documentary called Plastic Earth. Now, when we think of Rob Riggle, I'm not going to say environmentalist is the first thing that comes to my mind, right? What made you get involved with this? Talk to us.
There are three key.
Yeah, well, it's a good reason. I wouldn't classify myself as an environmentalist. I would classify myself as a regular Joe citizen, someone who's pretty reasonable-minded. The people that made this, Janice Overbeck and Jack Winch, they did a wonderful job putting together this film, and they've done a tremendous amount of research, and they've really dove into the details on this film. And so as a result, they did a great job educating me about what's going on with plastics specifically. And I liked it. I liked the way they approached this film. This film is about solutions. It's a solutions-based film. It's not a finger-wagging, shame, blame, political football. I think there's too much of that, and I think because of that, no one listens anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And the simple truth is we have a problem. We got a plastic problem. And here's the thing. I love plastics. I need plastics. We all use them. So don't point your finger at me, because every time I go to the grocery store, that's the only choices I have is plastic. So what I appreciate about this film is they talk about solutions, and it doesn't matter where you come from, what you do. The solutions is what we need to talk about. So that's why I really appreciate and why I got on board, is the way they approached it.
Thank you. And Rob, you always make us laugh, but now we love how you're helping get the word out about this. So thank you again. DBL Nation, see Rob narrating Plastic Earth, now available on video on demand. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
Appreciate you, man.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
That was a great interview. I'm a big fan of Rob Riggle, but it kind of threw us off too, because when you see like a Rob Riggle or like a Will Ferrell, you instantly think they're going to be like their movie character.
Have you met a Will Ferrell like when you were perusing Hollywood?
No. Perusing it. That was the weirdest.
What is it?
Old furniture from the Middle East.
The point I'm trying to make is he's trying to do something serious, and even in the video that he promoted, I was expecting him to almost make a joke, and he's being serious about that. But these are people, and they're serious in their real life.
He gave you a little.
Oh, he did. No, during the interview he was great, but it's like you just expect everyone to be their character, even us in some aspects of it.
I once spotted Will Ferrell quite a few times.
If you wanted to bring up Will Ferrell that you saw him, you should have just said that.
Well, she said I once saw him quite a few times.
Will Ferrell? Oh, speaking of Will Ferrell.
Yes.
Hold up. So when I was in my babysitting days, I babysat a little kid named Christian. He went to the village school over in Pacific Palisades. Now, Will Ferrell's kid, niece, nephew, whoever he knew, also went to the village school. And I would, not rub shoulders with Will Ferrell, but I would see him.
So it's rub elbows.
Okay.
Rub shoulders.
Okay,
so I crowded bar.
So I wouldn't rub elbows with Will Ferrell, but I would watch him. I didn't see him crack jokes. I just saw him be like a dad, and that was weird to me.
I think there's a difference between comics that are always on and some that aren't.
Are some always on?
Yeah, I've heard that Robin Williams was always on, Chris Farley was always on.
Tori's always on.
I will say this though, Tori's the same on the panel, and she's the same every second. Yeah.
Just as annoying.
Yeah, just as annoying.
Yesterday we were leaving at the same time and I honked and Tori's and her horn honked and it was like and I was pulling out and I go, even your horn is annoying. That's what I said.
It really is.
It's so mean. Even your honk is annoying.
Yeah, but your horn is kind of weird.
Oh my God, it's a horn.
It is.
And when he honked, I thought, oh, he's reaching out. This is an olive branch. I was like, boo, 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 boo. And it was like, it was really bad.
I do want us to bully Tori into getting a new car.
She needs to get a new car.
Her car looks like a bumper car that like escaped and is trying to become a real car. Doesn't it? Like a Pixar movie? Like, I can be a real car too.
Yep.
Yeah. I got no room to talk. If Tori gets rid of her car, mine's at the bottom of the
Yours
list.
is absolutely not in comparison to
No,
Tori.
it's not. But if she gets rid of hers,
Hers is like from 2012. It's falling apart. There's tape on it. It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
It is ding.
And hey, I've had some cars that were put together with like super glue, but Tori has the means to get herself a new car.
My first car didn't. The driver's door didn't open. I had my first car was a 1990 Honda Accord, and the driver's door didn't open.
Yeah,
and
going
I was at
through
college,
the other way.
And like when I would get in front of the cafeteria, I would pretend like I was cleaning out the front seat so I could get out of the passenger seat and not look crazy. No. I would have like a bag of trash and be like, oh, just clean it. You know, like you get out like, oh, just
hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not.
But think about those days. Aren't you like, it's so awesome?
Yep.
In some weird way. Welcome back. Spring has officially sprung, except here because it snowed last night. And that means you might be driving more. We've got some tips to keep your car running smooth for the whole season. That's today's Auto Alert, sponsored by Ox Car Care. First up, change the oil, of course. Next, check your tires and consider getting new ones if they are wearing down. And have your battery checked in the spring to prevent it from failing in the colder months later in the year. Ox Car Care is dedicated to providing you with an amazing auto protection plan experience that works with your budget. If you're looking for better car care, give them a call today. 1-800-946-5040.
Yes.
Speaking of car care, we were talking about your car in the break, Tori.
Yes.
They don't even like my horn. My horn annoys Jeff. He went boop boop, and I thought, oh, he's honking me. He's reaching an olive branch, and I went, and he wrote, even your horn is annoying.
Oh. Well, really, we were talking. What was your first car, really?
A '95 Nissan Maxima, black.
Mine was a 1990 Honda Accord. What about
Mine was an '89 convertible black cabriolet. It was my sister's passed down.
I think it was my parents' old red Oldsmobile.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Out of steel.
Yeah.
It's like a boat.
Still going strong. See you Monday.